Under the searing lights of the CNN debate stage, Kash Patel stood composed, his navy suit impeccable. Across from him, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett gestured animatedly, her voice crescendoing as she unleashed a scathing attack. "You're nothing but Trump's lackey," she declared, pointing sharply at Patel. "You've shielded him since your Pentagon days, and Americans deserve better." The audience gasped at her audacity. Crockett, riding the wave of her viral House committee performances, was known for her fierce interrogations and had clearly come to dominate. The camera caught Patel, unmoving, a faint smile curling his lips. What unfolded next stunned the room, leaving Crockett faltering on live television. In mere moments, Patel delivered a response so meticulously researched, so devastatingly precise, that the studio audience, once split by partisan loyalties, held its breath, witnessing one of 2025's most unforgettable televised confrontations. Kash Patel, former chief of staff to the acting defense secretary, had forged his reputation through decades of service. A terrorism prosecutor, National Security Council official, and key figure in high-stakes congressional probes, Patel, the son of immigrants, rose through grit and merit, earning respect across the intelligence community. Jasmine Crockett, a rising progressive star, had soared to prominence with her fiery rhetoric and confrontational style. A former civil rights attorney turned congresswoman, her incisive committee questioning had made her a social media sensation. Admirers hailed her as a fearless truth-teller. Detractors saw her chasing viral fame over policy depth. The CNN special, America's National Security, Past and Future, had been heavily promoted amid global tensions and a heating election cycle. For Patel, it was a chance to defend his record and the policies he shaped. For Crockett, it was an opportunity to solidify her role as an anti-establishment force and future Democratic leader. Moderator Michael Torres, a seasoned CNN anchor, had barely introduced the topic of Pentagon transparency when Crockett launched her assault on Patel's integrity, transforming the debate into a personal showdown. Millions watched at home, the studio audience on edge. "I'm not done," Crockett pressed, ignoring Torres's attempts to refocus. Turning to the crowd, she said, "Americans need to know who they're hearing from. While serving Trump, Mr. Patel blocked critical information from Congress, part of a deliberate effort to mislead the public on national security." Her supporters cheered, but Torres interjected, "Congresswoman, let's stick to policy." Crockett doubled down. "This is policy. How can we trust someone who undermined security?" She brandished her tablet, displaying a document. This committee transcript shows Patel dodging basic questions about troop deployments already public. Tension gripped the studio. Crockett's allies nodded, while Patel's supporters shifted, fearing he was cornered. Patel adjusted his microphone, his demeanor unshaken. Torres, sensing a ratings goldmine, let the clash unfold. "Mr. Patel, your response?" Patel began, his voice steady, a stark contrast to Crockett's fervor. "I appreciate the chance to reply, but let's ensure we're dealing with facts." Crockett scoffed. "Facts? That's rich from you." Patel raised a hand. "If I may, Congresswoman, that document isn't my testimony transcript. It's a memo your staff wrote 3 months after the hearing, misrepresenting what occurred." Murmurs spread. Crockett's confidence flickered briefly. "You're nitpicking," she shot back. "The truth remains. You obstructed." "Precision matters," Patel countered, "especially from elected officials." He produced a folded document from his jacket. "I anticipated this, so I brought the actual transcript." The room quieted, Torres leaning in. "Moreover," Patel continued, "the deployment details weren't public as you claim. They involved sensitive operations where disclosure could have endangered American and Allied lives. I swore an oath to protect them, not to score political points." Some audience members nodded, others hesitated, unsure whom to trust. Crockett waved dismissively. "Classic deflection. Your career's built on Trump loyalty, not the Constitution. At the NSC, you gutted intelligence functions. At the Pentagon, you pushed unqualified political appointees. The debate had morphed into a high-stakes duel, Torres abandoning prepared questions to let the drama play out. Patel's voice took on a quiet intensity. Congresswoman, you've made baseless claims, but what troubles me most is you're doing what you accuse me of, prioritizing politics over security. Addressing the audience, he said, I've served under both parties, prosecuting terrorists under Obama, protecting Americans regardless of who's in power. Crockett interrupted, Your resume doesn't erase the facts. Patel's tone sharpened. Facts matter and the American people deserve them. He nodded off stage, and the screen behind them lit up with a congressional record dated February 12, 2025. The audience leaned forward, the air thick with anticipation. This is from the House Armed Services Committee, Patel said calmly. Congresswoman Crockett, that's you in the highlighted section, correct? Crockett's poise wavered as she glanced at the screen, her grip tightening on her pen. The production team split the screen, capturing her reaction alongside the document. Patel read aloud, You said, the executive branch holds clear authority for time-sensitive force deployments. That's the exact legal rationale I gave, which you just called obstruction. Gasps echoed. Phones lit up as viewers searched the transcript online. Crockett adjusted her microphone, visibly rattled. You're twisting my words, she stammered. Patel was ready. The full transcript provides context, he said, as the screen showed her complete statement, defending a similar decision by the current administration months earlier. The principle you endorsed then is what you're attacking me for now. The audience erupted in whispers. A front-row woman covered her mouth, shocked. Even Torres seemed stunned, his neutrality slipping. But there's more, Patel said, signaling again. The screen displayed an email chain, highlighted in yellow, dated 2 weeks after Crockett's public criticism of Patel. These, obtained via FOIA, show that while you publicly condemned the prior administration's security protocols, you privately told your staff they were effective and legally sound. The studio exploded. Some stood, others pointed at the screen. A man shouted, Read it! Torres nodded to Patel. Patel read, While my public stance must criticize the prior administration, we should quietly adopt their deployment protocol. It's legally sound and operationally effective. Crockett's face shifted from confusion to horror, her hand knocking over her water glass. Those are private emails, she protested, her voice rising. This is inappropriate. Patel remained calm. These are official congressional communications, public under FOIA, sent on government servers about public policy. They reveal a gap between your public attacks and private admissions. An audience member yelled, She's caught! Torres raised a hand for order as chaos erupted. Congresswoman, your response? He asked. Crockett's eloquence faltered, her hand trembling. Those emails don't reflect my full stance. My staff was exploring options, as we do before finalizing policy. Patel shook his head. The timestamps show these came after your public statements, not during deliberation. You instructed your team to adopt protocols you publicly condemned. The screen zoomed in, showing an email sent hours after her viral attack on Patel, directing her communications director to criticize him while admitting his approach was legally justified. Torres, visibly shocked, asked, Congresswoman, is this accurate? Crockett fumbled with her tablet. I need the full email chain. This is selective. Patel replied, The complete 46-page FOIA file has been public for a month. I've highlighted key parts, but nothing's altered. Crockett's team scrambled at the stage's edge, her communications director typing frantically. Patel addressed the audience, his voice resolute but devoid of gloating. I've served under both parties, never compromising our security. I won't stand for false accusations when the record shows the Congresswoman's public and private stances differ for partisan gain. The studio fell silent, even Crockett's supporters stunned. Patel turned to her. You called me a puppet. I'm no one's puppet. I'm a public servant who believes principles outweigh politics. National security isn't partisan or shouldn't be. The camera captured Crockett's defeated expression, then panned to the audience. Shock, disappointment, and vindication mingling. A veteran nodded solemnly. Students exchanged wide-eyed glances. An elderly woman wiped a tear. Torres, grasping the historic moment, let the silence linger before saying, We need a moment to process this. We'll take a break. As the broadcast cut to commercial, the studio erupted. Executives rushed from the control room. Crockett's staff formed a protective huddle, while Patel calmly organized his notes. Viewers caught a final image. Crockett, head bowed, surrounded by frantic aides, and Patel, alone, with his evidence still on screen. The aftermath was seismic. Before the break ended, clips spread online, with that Patel vs. Crockett trending globally. Receipts Matter and Emails Don't Lie followed, amassing millions of views in 20 minutes. When the broadcast resumed, Torres, visibly shaken, said, Welcome back. We witnessed stunning revelations. Congresswoman, your response? Crockett, makeup hastily touched up, spoke cautiously. This was a calculated ambush with selective information. Those emails reflect complex policy discussions, not my final stance. Torres pressed. How do you explain the contradiction? Crockett grew defensive. Positions evolve with new data, using FOIA to weaponize staff emails undermines governance. Patel replied, These weren't private. They're public records about public policy, not deliberation but instructions to mislead. The debate's tone shifted. Crockett subdued, Patel pivoting to policy without gloating. CNN's ratings soared, shattering records. Crockett's team issued a statement claiming misrepresentation, promising context but offering no specifics. Conservative outlets hailed Patel's masterclass. One tweet, Receipts beat shouting matches, shared 150,000 times. Progressive media scrambled, suggesting selective editing, but admitted the visual damage. By midnight, clips hit 8 million views, with internet sleuths confirming the FOIA file's public status, intensifying scrutiny on Crockett's unpreparedness. Morning shows led with headlines like, Emails expose congressional contradiction. Even Crockett-friendly outlets struggled to downplay the story. Patel's brief statement, National security transcends politics. I welcome substantive debate, bolstered his rising star. Crockett faced immediate fallout. A fundraiser was canceled, a press conference postponed, and her Sunday show bookings vanished. 3 House Democrats distanced themselves, stressing accuracy in public service. The speaker's tepid support, I haven't seen the full exchange, signaled retreat. Patel, once a niche figure, was flooded with media, book, and speaking offers, with operatives eyeing him for office. He's electoral gold, a consultant said, citing his expertise and poise. The moment sparked broader discourse. Universities taught the clip in political science, analyzing preparation and crisis management. Intelligence experts praised Patel's substance over theatrics. Congressional staffers audited emails, wary of contradictions. Social media dissected Crockett's body language and Patel's evidence, with 25 million views in 72 hours. Polls showed 71% found Patel more credible, with 43% of progressives agreeing. The Patel effect raised voter demand for substance, with 68% calling it a pivotal accountability moment. Crockett's first post-debate town hall drew a smaller, reserved crowd, her explanations of complex governance falling flat. Patel testified before a bipartisan committee, his invitation citing his principled stand. Months later, both returned to CNN for a program on accountability. Crockett admitted learning from the ordeal, and Patel praised her growth, sparking hope for civil discourse. As one analyst wrote, the Patel-Crockett clash showed truth's power in a performative age. Evidence still matters, and Americans crave it.